Hello, everybody. My name is Sam. Welcome to the first episode of Healing the Divide with Sam and Sonia. Today, I am going to tell you my story. I'm going to be telling you about my journey with having epilepsy. I'm going to describe what it's like to have a seizure and also describe some of the medications that I have tried over the years and how they have affected who I am and how I live my life. And I'm telling you this because I've always wanted people to understand what goes on in this crazy brain of mine when I have a seizure. And it's so hard to put into words, but I feel like if I could just explain it right, it would provide some healing in and of itself. And this is difficult for me, so bear with me. So I guess I'll get started, assuming that I'm not going to get eaten by fire ants. It doesn't look like I am, so here we go. First of all, as an introduction to this channel, my name is Samantha. I'm 33 and I live in South Carolina, and I will be doing the Healing the Divide project with Sonia and all of your help, hopefully. And okay, so let's start on my story. I have epilepsy. It's a neurological condition in which you have seizures. And I have three different kinds of seizures: absence seizures, myoclonic seizures, and grand mal seizures. I have had epilepsy since I was 9. I have had grand mal seizures since I was, I believe, 10. Um, don't quote me on it. it was soon after I got diagnosed. So just a brief description of the seizures themselves. I have absence seizures, which is when I'll stare off into space and I'll get this blank look over my face, and they can last anywhere from like a millisecond to 10 seconds, though they rarely last more than 10 seconds. They rarely last 10 seconds, but that's the average length for anyone who's having an absence seizure from my experience. I also have myoclonic seizures. Now, myoclonic seizures are a little more serious. They are when I go like this. My hands will jerk, okay? And usually when that happens, I am, still aware, still conscious. I'll be doing something and my hands will jerk. Just like that. And then, I must drive my family crazy because usually during this time I'm like, don't worry, I got this. I I'll be trying to cut something, or pour coffee, and I'll be like, it's okay, I got this, I can do it. So I know I drive them crazy, and I thank everyone who is trying to help me for their patience with that. And then lastly, I have grand mal seizures, which is what I really wanted to talk to you guys about because that's when my brain goes crazy. So for those of you who don't know, a grand mal seizure is what you typically think of when you hear someone's having a seizure. They fall to the ground, seize up, then shake, and then, wake up. Now, it can last a short amount of time, and I usually never have more than one in a row. And my grand mal seizures are always, I know when they're going to happen. I don't just have your random drop seizure on the ground. That doesn't happen with me. They are usually preluded by the myoclonic seizures. And so for the most part, I'll be sitting down and I'll be aware. There are other people out there who do have drop seizures, and that's scary. And I I hope that never really happens to me. But anyways, so what you see is you'll see me going unconscious, my body seizing tight, real tight, then my body shaking, and then me coming out of it. And usually I stop breathing during this time. And when I come out of it, when I'm done, like all seized up, my husband actually has to take me and sort of tip me over to tip the drool out of my mouth. So it's a little, if I were awake and aware of it, it'd be embarrassing, but I'm not at the time. Okay, so from my perspective, the seizure from my perspective, basically the seizure itself, and again, bear with me because this is hard to describe, okay? The seizure itself is like just going to sleep. I am not in any way aware during any part of the actual seizing, shaking phase of the seizure. However, I become aware after I start breathing again. And it is very, very scary for me. Because when I am coming out of a seizure, I have this big feeling of just doom, right? So I can't see. I cannot see. I can hear myself speaking, but I'm not registering. I'm not in control of what I'm saying. So I'm just speaking. I cannot see, but I feel so scared. And so I also feel, I think the reason I'm scared is because I feel like I am surrounded by the fabric of the universe, and it is just so overwhelmingly crazy. I feel numbers. I try and explain that to people. I feel numbers, which I think is what the fabric of the universe might be, and that's kind of why I'm describing it. So I feel numbers, and not only do I feel numbers, I also have this sense of something big and dark and looming that's gonna get me. And I usually end up waking up yelling and screaming, saying over and over and over again, I don't want to die, help me, I don't want to die, oh my God, I don't want to die, right? And I'm not in control of that. Like, I can't control what I say. I guess that's one of the less embarrassing things one could say when they're not in control of what they say. However, it's still weird. And I always wondered why I'm saying, oh my God, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Oh my God, I don't want to die. I always wondered why, because yes, it's scary. It's what I feel, as in the numbers, and what I see is very scary, but not representative of death, really. It's more representative. Well, I don't know what it's representative of. It just scares the crap out of me. So I always wondered why, and I started to think that maybe the reason that I would say, oh my God, I don't want to die, and be crying and doing all this crazy stuff was more because, like, I hadn't finished yet. I still have stuff to accomplish. And, when I was younger, I was more violent. I'd wake up, I'd yell, I'd scream, I'd be physically violent when I was younger, and I'm sure that scared my parents. And so I think that I really think it's because I have unfinished business. I have something that I'm meant to do, something I'm meant to fulfill. And I don't want to die yet because I haven't done it yet. And I actually think that this right here might just be my purpose, is healing the divide. There is an ant. Okay. Go ahead. Go, little guy. All right. So I think that this might be my purpose. And I'm very, I'm almost looking forward to see when I have a seizure again, to see if I say, oh my God, I don't want to die, because maybe there's some inner part of me that feels like I'm fulfilling my purpose right now. sorry about the wind. I hope it's not affecting the video as far as sound. It's really beautiful though, you guys should see. Okay, you can see all kinds of like beautiful flowers and stuff. I live on a homestead, so I got all kinds of trees and everything. I don't know how well you guys can see that. But okay, anyways, so that's what it's like for me to have a seizure. And if there are other people out here watching this who have had seizures before, please tell me what your experience is like, because from a scientific and spiritual level, I'd love to hear what other people's experiences have been like. And I also wanted to let people know what medications I've been on, because sometimes I believe and I feel now, and that depends on the severity of one's seizures, but I have felt throughout my life that the side effects of the medications that I have to take are oftentimes worse than the seizures themselves. And I'll give you an example. The first medication I took, and I think a lot of people are aware of this one, is one of the first ones that has ever treated seizures, and that is Depakote. And I took that when I was young, and I gained so much weight. I was huge, and it was a direct side effect of the medication. And from this weight gain, I was bullied like no one's business. I mean, I was a weird kid, yeah, but now I wasn't an obese weird kid. And I remember like people pretending I was shaking the floor as I was walking down the school hall, and you know, people laughing at me behind my back, and you know, people think that they thought that I couldn't sense that or I couldn't hear it. And no, I can hear it. I can tell that you're talking about me or making fun of me. I know that. I'm not an idiot. And it had a great effect on my self-esteem. And I ended up, it was destroying my liver too. So I ended up getting off of that medication. And then at some point when I was a preteen, I ended up getting on Keppra. And I got on Keppra, and I turned into, I'm just gonna say it, I turned into a total bitch. Like and it wasn't just preteen stuff, like I was nasty, I was mean, I was not myself. And to know that a medication was like can do that to you as a person is almost scary. To know that it can control your mental state is scary. And even though it worked really well, it worked well. However, my personality was so altered that I had to, my mom got me off of it because she couldn't stand me when I was on it. That is actually a medication that I am on right now, and as an adult, it is not a problem. I'm much better as a personality wise. I'm much better than I would have been, or than I was when I was a kid, rather. And then another one, in college, I took one that was called Vimpat. And on Vimpat, I wanted to sleep all the time. I had all these friends, they were all playing video games, and I was trying to do my homework, and I would just sleep. I was in college to like get a degree, and I just wanted to sleep. And that one was so bad, I had to get off of it. And then another one, my daughter, when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was on a medication that actually caused a birth deformity in my daughter, and I wasn't aware that it would do that. And that one, for anyone who is pregnant and having epilepsy, that one is called zonisamide. Do not take that if you are pregnant for anything, for any reason, and get off of it before you get pregnant. It's very important that you know that. And so now I'm on medication, and by the way, the reason I switched so much is because I have retractable seizures, which means that my body adapts to every medication that I take. So I've had to jump around, so the doctor will put me on a medication and then give me a dose, and he'll up the dose. And then after that, after I'm on the highest dose, he'll put me on another one. So that's how that goes. And right now I've been on the same 2 medications for a while, Keppra and lamotrigine, also known as Lamictal. So I'm on both of those, and my seizures have stayed pretty steady throughout the years. But it has affected, all of this has affected my outlook on life. Um, when you're a kid and you don't breathe for 2 minutes and you know it's possible to die from a seizure and you're 9 years old, sometimes you think, am I going to live through today? You get a real sense of mortality when you're really young, and it makes a huge difference as to how you view your life. For me, it made me much less of a risk taker because I'm already risking my life every day just by waking up. And it also has held me back from stuff that I really wanted to do, and I still want to do. When I was a kid, a teenager, I wanted to live in a bus in a third world country and help little kids, and then just travel around, specifically Africa. I'm in love with the geography there, the culture. I learned all about it in college. I mean, that's not to say I know everything. I'm not from there. I'm not, anything like that, but it has an allure for me. And I imagined myself doing that, and I couldn't, nor could I take up a teaching job that was offered to me in Malaysia because I might not be able to get my medicine there. The supply of medicine is iffy in other countries, and so in that sense, I am lucky to be here where I am. It's also taught me to my seizures and my taking of medication and everything that I've been through have taught me to not judge others, because you cannot judge a book by its cover. It's taught me to, think about what's going on inside another person's mind. Or, I was big, I was obese, but it wasn't due to anything I was eating. It wasn't due to me being lazy. It was due to a medication. And, it got me to thinking I shouldn't be judging other people based on what they look like, because I don't know who they are. I don't know their story, you know? And I think that's a lesson everyone learns as they get older in life. But it really hit me hard when I was a little kid. And I remember someone, when I was really young, making fun of me. And my mom said, I told her, and I said, why are they so mean to me, Mom? And she said, she told me that they had to learn that from somewhere. You don't be mad at them. Empathize with them. You don't know what their home life is like. Maybe all they know is how to be mean because their parents are mean. Maybe that's all they know. They had to learn that from somewhere. And so ever since then, I've kind of looked at the world kind of through that lens, and I just wanted to share that with people. I'll tell you right now, I'm really happy. I'm enjoying my life. I've tried to never let my seizures get me down, regardless of what I can and cannot do. I live on 5 acres with chickens and dogs that I am surprised they haven't run out here and run me over yet. I want a cat. Don't have one. And I feel like I'm in a really peaceful time and a peaceful place, and I'm really looking forward to sharing this journey with all of you. I'm looking forward to healing the divide. And I will be back on soon with some poetry, with some more messages from everyone else. I invite you all to partake in this with me because I have a feeling it's going to be truly wonderful. Thank you for your time, and we will see you on the next video.